Welcome to Dodgers Daily. I'm Casey Porter. I'm so glad that you decided to tune in. We have a little bit of a somber show today as every team in the organization except for AA Tulsa lost their games last night, highlighted by the Los Angeles Dodgers at the top, who lost to the San Diego Padres yesterday. So a tough day in the organization. Hey, there's been some really great days lately. We talked about the 3 organizational sweeps in about the last almost 2 weeks. So hey, there's been some great days. Yesterday was not one of them, but there was some great action that we're going to get to and talk about. But hey, before we get into all that, just a reminder, if you'd like to help Dodgers Daily by donating, we do now have a GoFundMe account, and we have the link in the description where you can help by donating to that GoFundMe account for Dodgers Daily. Also, if you like this video and if you like this kind of content, go ahead and click that like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily, and become a subscriber. And after you subscribe, turn on those notifications. That way, every time Dodgers Daily releases a new video, you'll be notified. You won't miss a thing, and Dodgers Daily can keep growing, and we can keep doing what we love, which is providing videos like this in the future. Okay, like I said, every team in the organization, including Los Angeles, well, except for the AA Tulsa Drillers, every team in the organization lost yesterday. So, hey, we're going to chew on that LA loss first. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk Dodgers baseball. Well, the Dodgers got off to a really good start when they played good team offense in the first inning when they scored 1 run. I talked about getting that lid off, and it looked like everything was ready to go and raring to go. Little did anybody know that the Dodgers would only score 1 more run, and that would be all the way in the 7th inning. And then as Dodgers fans, it was disappointing because you had to watch the Padres just chip away at that. The Padres scored 1 in the 3rd, and they scored 3 in the 5th, won the 8th to win 5-2. Fernando Tatis Jr., we talked about the Fernando Tatis Jr., the effect for him as far as he goes for the Padres. Well, he had a 2 home run game last night. But hey, I'll tell you what this game came down to. The thing about this game, of course, whenever you only score 2 runs, you got to score more than that to win games. You need to score 5 or 6 runs. A game we had talked about coming into this series, the Dodgers have been playing absolutely great offense. So give Darvish a lot of credit. I talked yesterday in depth about the cat and mouse game. Hey, is the off speed going to be in the zone? Can the Dodgers recognize the off speed and swing at the right pitches? Well, I'll tell you what, Darvish did a just elite job last night of throwing all 7 of his pitches for a strike. He only walked 1 hitter. Meanwhile, the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw himself in his 4 2/3 innings had 5 walks. Okay, and Kershaw only had 5 walks total on the entire year coming into last night. So because of all the walks really last night, the Dodgers, that's where the game was lost, was where the Dodgers, they had 11 walks last night total as a staff. The Padres just won. When you're giving up 10 bases, that's almost 3 entire runs right there. And that's pretty much the difference you lost the game by. And then you're not hitting home runs on the other end of that. The Padres, to be honest with you, they beat the Dodgers at their own game. The Dodgers, they like to grind pitch counts, they like to walk, and they like to hit home runs. Well, how about this? The Padres last night, okay, the Padres, they drew, the Dodgers, I should say, threw 174 pitches in just 8 innings of action. Okay, last night the Padres threw just 125. So if you look at that, okay, the Dodgers were throwing a lot more pitches per inning than the Padres. So the Padres were doing a better job at grinding pitch counts. Then the Padres were the ones hitting the home runs, and the Padres were the one drawing the walks. That's been the Dodgers' offensive formula for many, many years. And the Padres, to be honest with you, they beat the Dodgers at their own game last night. So, hey, you only scored 2 runs, so obviously the offense was an issue. But anytime you issue 11 walks, here's what happens in a game. The reason, in my opinion, why the offense goes stagnant is when you're throwing that many pitches, on defense, and when you're walking that many guys. Okay, it's hard to get momentum in a game. It seems like the other team is playing offense the entire game, so it seems like that other team has the momentum the entire game. So because of that, then whenever you come in on the offensive side of the ball, then it's hard to generate some momentum and get anything going offensively. And I think, there's that kind of, both sides play off of each other. I say that all the time. A lot of times in a comeback, and I was hoping this would happen last night whenever the Dodgers got out of that jam, philbickford got out of a jam. I was hoping that a lot of that the bullpen would create a spark. We've seen that in the past, that many times in a comeback. We saw it just the other day when Muncy hit the walk-off grand slam, where the bullpen puts up a couple zeros. They get some momentum back in the dugout. It feels like you're the one playing offense for almost the entire game down the stretch. Then you score a couple runs and win. Okay, I was hoping that maybe the bullpen could do that for the Dodgers last night, but just absolutely couldn't do it. Wander Suero, he came in and, he had 3 walks himself. So, hey, anytime you have 11 walks, that's going to affect your offense because, again, it's going to seem like you're playing defense all night. And so by the time you get on the offensive side of the ball, it's just really hard to generate momentum. And I am a big believer in momentum, even at the professional level. Hey, I believe in a baseball game, you're always looking for that spark of momentum. And then once you get that spark of momentum, everybody needs to fall in line and ride that wave and, let that become contagious. And, one guy feeds off the other, and then you start playing good team baseball from there. So, okay, you had a good start offensively to the game, but again, only 2 runs throughout. And again, I'll say it one more time. I think a lot of that was because the Dodgers didn't pitch well. They didn't throw enough strikes. And because of that, it felt like the Padres had the momentum the entire game. Okay, per Rick Monday last night, I kind of go back and forth between all the different broadcasts. I like to get different perspectives from different people. As I was listening to Charlie Steiner and Rick Monday said that Kershaw gave up more than 3 runs to the Padres for the first time in 25 starts. Okay, that's the second longest streak in the history of baseball, only behind Cy Young. So Clayton Kershaw had been just absolutely locked down nails against the San Diego Padres to that point. So, hey, last night just was just one of those nights in baseball. It's one of those you got to wake up the next morning. Today, you got to put it behind you. You got to move on. You're still, up there at the top of the leaderboard in the NL West. You still have a better record than the Padres, and you still have a chance to win the series over this weekend. So you just got to show up today, and like I said, put it behind you from yesterday. That's one of the great things about baseball. There's many great things, but one of the great things is when you have a tough day like you had yesterday, organizational wide, you get to wake up the next day and you get to do it all over again. It's not football where you got to sit and chew on it for 6 days. Okay, like I said, the Dodgers had the 11 walks. Okay, just 4 hits for the Los Angeles Dodgers, which was a double and a triple and then 2 singles, and drew just 1 walk. So, only 4 hits and just 1 walk. Okay, a lot of that is, hey, the Padres, they pitched well. Give them credit. There's sometimes, even in a rivalry, where you have to just tip your cap and say, hey, the other guy did a really, really, really good job. And I think by and large, for almost all of what happened last night, I think you have to do that for Darvish. Again, his offense gave him momentum by playing offense for so long, by drawing so many walks, by grinding the pitch count of the Dodgers pitchers so much, and then doing just at least a decent job of scoring runs, that they gave him some momentum. He fed off of that momentum, and he went out and he added to that momentum by doing a great job not walking people and, not giving up hardly anything at all. Okay, so again, I'm going to say it one more time. The Padres, they threw just 125 pitches in 8 innings. The Dodgers threw the Padres threw 125 pitches in 9 innings. The Dodgers threw 174 pitches in 8 innings. And that's the game right there. That's the game right there as far as the Padres were on offense almost all night long. And because of that, they came out 5-2. And the Dodgers, to be honest with you, I thought once philbickford, like I said a minute ago, put up that 0, I even posted on my social media, hey, come back, start with zeros on the board by your bullpen. There's your 0. Let's get some momentum and let's get after it. It just wasn't to be yesterday. So, hey, the 2 clubs, they hook up again tonight. 5:40. So, hey, be there. Going to be exciting. Got to move on, Dodgers fans. Yesterday was yesterday. Today is today. So, another great chance to. How about that environment at San Diego? I know they're a rival, but man, a sold-out crowd, the biggest crowd of the year. They were rocking. You got to at least appreciate the fact that the San Diego atmosphere and environment is just a fantastic environment to play baseball in. So, the Beat LA chant, I take that as a compliment as a Los Angeles Dodgers fans. That just means that just shows how much respect they have for you and, how much they're gunning for you. At any time somebody's gunning for you like that, that tells you you've done a pretty good job of being at the top because you're in a position where they want to be and they want to get in. So, hey, I enjoy those big time environments like that when there's a lot of people. And just as a baseball fan in general, take away allegiances. I just love it whenever people just go to baseball games and enjoy just watching this wonderful game of baseball. So I thought the atmosphere last night was fantastic. And so the atmosphere again over the entire weekend. I'm sure all the games will be sold out. It'll be another raucous atmosphere tonight. Hopefully the Dodgers can play a little bit better and get a win and even up the series at 5:40 tonight. Okay, so again, we're going to transition to our minor league part of our show today. And, like I said, there's 4 affiliates and 3 of them lost. So we're going to talk about some losing, but we're also going to talk about some really great performances as well. So let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it and let's take a trip down on the farm. The Oklahoma City Dodgers scored 1 in the second inning, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the seventh, and they lost 7-4 to the AAA affiliates of the Padres as well, the El Paso Chihuahuas. So it was a little bit of a tough night for the Oklahoma City Dodgers. Bobbymiller got the start, and I'll tell you what, man, it was a little bit of a rough start for him. Just a second start back, though. Nothing to be concerned about as a Dodgers fan. Still just trying to get all the fields back and get everything loosened out and get it out there. Okay, he threw 1.2 innings, 1 2/3 innings, and he did give up the 7 runs. But like I said, hey, whenever you're coming back, and you're just getting back into things, it's more about just, getting innings out of the way. Bobbymiller did hit 101 miles an hour in the first inning yesterday, so I don't think it's anything Dodgers fans need to worry about. Justin Hageman, 2 1/3 innings, he gave up no runs. Adam Kolarek, he gave up no runs as well in 2 innings. And Mark Washington and Taylor Scott, they finished the night by going scoreless as well. Out of the bullpen, offensively, you're looking at drewavans right here. He was just a triple away from the cycle. He went 3 for 5 last night. Also had an RBI because he hit a home run. And so it was his 5th home run of the year. He had a double and a single as well. Like I said, he was just a triple away from the cycle. Luke Williams was 2 for 5 as well on the night. So he had a good night. The young man who was just recently brought back down to AAA Oklahoma City. Yanni Hernandez had a hit, and Ryan Ward had an RBI double as well. But other than that, that was pretty much it for the AAA Oklahoma City Dodgers. They lost again 7-4 to the AAA affiliates of the San Diego Padres, the El Paso Chihuahuas. The AA Tulsa Drillers, bro, I tell you what, they saved the organization last night because they won both their games in a doubleheader. The night before I actually was going to that game. I was going to talk to a couple of players, but it rained on us, so that game did not get played on Thursday. So the Drillers played a doubleheader yesterday. You're looking at Emmett Sheehan right here. Boy, he has just been absolutely lights out. The Drillers won 4-0. Johnny DeLuca had a hit. Imanolvargas had a hit as well. Jose Ramos, he hit just a majestic home run that we're going to see here in a minute. Imanolvargas, he also hit a home run as well for his one hit. Jose Ramos, we talked about him. And Eddie's Leonard, he had a hit as well. So it wasn't a super offensive day or anything like that. But, hey, the formula is pitch really good and then draw a couple walks and hit a couple home runs. That's what the Drillers did in the first game yesterday. Emmett Sheehan was just absolutely lights out. He went 5 innings that you're seeing here. He gave up 3 hits, no runs, had 8 strikeouts and no walks. Boy, his strikeout to walk ratio this year is just absolutely video game ridiculous. Okay, Sheehan, he threw 76 pitches, 55 for strikes, and on the year his ERA is 2.59. His whip is just 0.88, and his average against is just 1.34. Okay, so let's get to that strikeout to walk ratio of Emmett Sheehan. 43 strikeouts on the year, just 8 walks in 24.1 innings. This is a young man. I talk about it all the time. He has one of the most explosive fastballs in the system. It's not just the velo, it's the extension. It's the way, watch how he's deceptive, how he hides that ball. He's not necessarily a dropper. He likes to point that ball to center field. When he separates, see how when he separates, that ball kind of goes towards center field and it stays behind his back, and then uses his core to rotate around that. And so the ball, when it gets delivered, the hitter does not see it until basically it's out of its hand, and it's coming, 96, 97, and sometimes upwards to 99. And so that is a pitch that is pretty much invisible to the hitter with a heck of a lot of velo and a lot of extension. So that 99 to a hitter is looking way faster than, or whatever the velo is, 96, 97, 98, 99, whatever it may be. Whatever that velo is, it's looking a lot faster to the hitter, and that's why he gets so much swing and miss, to the tune of 43 strikeouts and just 8 walks in 24.1 innings. So, hey, keep an eye on Emmett Sheehan. This guy, buy stock in him right now, because this dude is real good. Well, I mentioned the majestic home runner, Jose Ramos. Kapow. Look at this. Watch this. Now, keep watching. Okay, this ball, wow, it never even comes into the screen. It goes all the way up. There's actually a concession area that I bought a hot dog and a couple of Diet Cokes at many times before, behind left field there. It went completely over the Budweiser terrace. It went completely over the grassy knoll, and it landed probably one hop that concession area and spilled somebody's drink. That is one of the most impressive home runs in the history of One Oak Field, okay? And I am not exaggerating, because I'm using the exact words of play-by-play voice Dennis Higgins, who literally said that last night when Jose Ramos hit it. If you don't believe me, go to my social medias, watch it. You can hear Dennis Higgins, the wonderful, wonderful play-by-play voice for the Tulsa Drillers. Let him describe it, because look, the ball never comes into the screen. This home run right here, it still has me, even in the next morning, just to myself, just going, wow, unbelievable. Jose Ramos, I've said it many times before, but when he hits a home run, it has that bounce factor, it has the perfect launch angle, and it is a beautiful, majestic thing to see. Last night was the culmination of all that, because that home run right there was insane. Hey, the 2020 watch for Johnny DeLuca is in full force. Boy, last night he had an RBI single that you're seeing right here, and then guess what? He stole both second and third base. Like I've said many different times, this young man, Johnny DeLuca, there goes second base right there, steals second base pretty easily, and then about 2 pitches later, watch this, he just steals third, and really neither one, didn't even draw a throw going to third. Stealing second base wasn't even close, and then third base doesn't even draw a throw. So, hey, Johnny DeLuca, the 2020 watch is on. We've talked about him hitting all these home runs lately. He's led off, I believe, 3 or 4 games with home runs. I believe he's up to like 8 home runs on the year, and I think this was stolen base number 6 and 7. So the 2020 watch is in full effect for Johnny DeLuca. He's done it 2 out of the 3 last years that he's played, and he would have done it last year if he hadn't have got hurt. So Johnny DeLuca, boy, like I said, he can beat a defense in every which way. He is that dynamic type offensive player that I love, that can do a little bit of everything. He can drive in a run with a single, he can hit home runs, he can steal bases, he can put pressure on a defense every which way. So I just thoroughly enjoy watching Johnny DeLuca play baseball. Well, here's a guy to put on your radar. I've been saying this for quite a while now. Don't be a slave to the top 30 prospects list, because there's so many great players in this organization that aren't on this list. Here's one of them that's at the top of that, and that is Ryansublette, the young man out of Texas Tech, the Red Raider. Boy, that Red Raider program is fantastic under Tim Tadlock and Matt Gardner. Matt Gardner, an Oklahoma State boy, the pitching coach there, does such a wonderful job of finding guys like Ryansublette. Then once he gets them, boy, I tell you, he puts them in his program. And kind of like the Dodgers, man, the developmental system there at Texas Tech is just absolutely insane. I remember Patrick Monteverde, who actually played with Jake Pilarski in Pittsburgh in high school. When he got to Texas Tech, I believe he came to Texas Tech like Pilarski from a Division II or Division III program. Next thing you know, Monteverde is one of the best pitchers in the country. That's how good Matt Gardner is at developing pitching at Texas Tech. Ryansublette is a product of that. If you remember Clayton Beater, he also went to Texas Tech as well. The young man, the Dodgers, unfortunately, I will say that's my opinion, unfortunately, traded last year for Joey Gallo. So, hey, anytime you get a pitcher out of Texas Tech, you're getting a young man that is mentally tough. You're getting a guy who's had tremendous training and a guy that is very, very, very competitive. And then on top of all that, you're getting a young man that is very, very talented and very good. Okay, Ryansublette was his typical on point last night for AA Tulsa. He gave up no runs on no hits, and his ERA on the year is down to 193. Dodgers fans will start catching on to this guy. I've talked about it. He's not on the top 30 prospects list. It's probably somebody you're going, Ryansublette. Okay, maybe if it's the first time you heard of him, okay, keep your eye on him. Buy stock on him right now, because I'm telling you that 3/4 slot is really, really good. The competitive nature is good. The slider is good. The fastball is good. Ryansublette is a young man you need to follow. Imanolvargas, a young man that I call the machine, because he's just like a machine getting on base, and he's just such a wonderful offensive player. You're seeing a home run opposite field for him right here. That was a nice hit. But, he's so good at getting on base. His on-base percentage this year is .442, and he's adding, a batting average that's over 300 now. His batting average is .302. On-base percentage of .442. So I like to call him the machine because, for just long stretches of time, he's like a machine at the plate, and how he just grinds out at bats and how he draws walks and just how he gets on base and how he gets base hits. It's like he's a machine up there offensively at the plate. So, I like to call him the machine. Imanolvargas went big fly last night for AA Tulsa for his 5th of the year. I talked about the machine just a minute ago with Imanolvargas. I like to compare Jordanleasure last year to Ivan Drago because, boy, it just seemed like he wasn't human there for long stretches of time. Last summer, he went like 2 or 3 months without giving up a run and had a million different strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. Okay, so this young man, Jordanleasure, out of the University of Tampa. Boy, what a wonderful baseball program they have there at the University of Tampa. And if you talk to anybody from that area that was around Jordanleasure, they will tell you, hey, this guy's going to make it because his work process is the best. Look at that slider. Another one of the guys like Ryansublette that, hey, don't slave yourself to the top 30 prospects. This guy has closer. Look, you tell me, look at that slider. That's ridiculous. And his fastball is 96 to 97. It's approaching the 100-mile-an-hour range, and he's long, and he's kind of got a little bit of a herky-jerky type delivery to him. Jordan, look at that up and in. A professional hitter left-handed, that's righty-lefty, which should be an advantage to the hitter. He's late. He doesn't see the ball. Again, twice in a row late. The ball just gets up on top of him. You've seen the good slider. He has the changeup. And there's another good slider to a lefty, as a matter of fact. And so, Jordanleasure, like a lot of these young power arms in the Dodgers system, when he's throwing strikes, he's very, very good. It's a matter of if he can stay in the strike zone long enough to be effective for any given night. And when he goes on heaters, he's known to go long periods of time without giving up runs. So I'm super high on this young man, Jordanleasure. Well, the second game last night was a tremendous game, and look at that gigantic crowd at One Oak Field. Congratulations to the city of Tulsa. They just do a wonderful job there at Drillville, One Oak Field in downtown Tulsa. It is just an absolutely gorgeous place to play baseball, and when that place is full on a weekend, there is nowhere better for the game of baseball, especially when you have, hey, the Dodgers and the Padres playing. You have, and that's a AA level, but still it's a lot of fun to watch. You have the Drillers and the San Antonio Missions. Boy, what a great atmosphere it was last night, and they put on a show, 2-1. The Drillers won last night. Johnny DeLuca had another hit in that game. Andy Pajes had a hit. Carson Taylor had a home run. I mentioned that a minute ago. And Cody Hoche had a hit as well. Landonknack, how about him? Other than one inning this year where he reached his pitch limit and had to come out, other than that one inning, he has been maybe the best pitcher in all the minor leagues, and I am not exaggerating. He has been absolutely that good. Last night he went 5 1/3 again. He gave up just 1 run, had 5 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. If you remember Landonknack, it's always been one of the top prospects in the Dodgers organization. He had the forearm issues last year that set him back. Look at that slider. That is a ridiculous pitch. And I tell you the thing about him, he is major league quality at landing 4 different pitches in the strike zone. We saw it last night with Darvish. When you can throw a multitude of pitches and throw them all for strikes, you can get every type of hitter out. Landonknack can do that. So, hey, Landonknack is back right now, baby, and he is throwing really, really well. On the year, his ERA is just 150. His whip is just 0.88, and he has 31 strikeouts to just 7 walks. East Tennessee State celebrate because Landonknack is pitching just fantastically. Walter State, one of the powerhouse JUCO programs in the country, celebrate because your product Landonknack is putting on a show. It was high drama in downtown T-Town last night, and boy, Johnrooney, if there's anything he likes, it is the big moment. The young man out of Hofstra, he has just absolutely started killing this new role that he has been given in high leverage late inning games. He loves the adrenaline of it. He loves the competitive nature of it, and it's just come in and go right off the bat. There's no thinking to it as far as, hey, do I need to conserve this? Hey, just come in and just give it your all for 3 outs, and let's get the heck out of here and get another win. That's what he did last night. As a matter of fact, Johnrooney actually got the win last night for the Drillers, and he lowered his ERA down to 146. Rooney's whip is just 0.81, and he has 14 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Let me say it again, 14 strikeouts, just 1 walk. One of the knocks on Johnrooney in the past has been, hey, can he throw enough strikes and not walk people enough to be effective? 14 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Let me give you a parallel. It was about this time last year that Gus Varlin was moved to the pen as well so he could maximize his fastball. The next thing you know, Gus Varlin's hitting 98. The slider looks good. He made a little bit of an arm adjustment, and now Gus Varlin, he has already made his major league debut. Not saying that's going to happen to Johnrooney. Of course, Gus Varlin was picked up in the Rule 5, but Johnrooney, I'll tell you what, man, this dude has absolutely been killing it with his relief role. Look at that energy. I love it. Johnrooney. Thank you to Austin Brubaker for this wonderful video. This is Orlando Ortiz Mayer. He is pitching for the Great Lakes Loons, and Austin had awesome seats last night, and I'm very thankful for the fact that he sent us all these videos. And if you go to his YouTube, or you go to his Instagram or his TikTok or his Twitter. Go to his Twitter. He has way more video than I did of the game last night. You can see, all the action from this level right here. So it was absolutely fantastic. Not a whole lot to brag about last night, though. The Great Lakes Loons, they lost 7-0 to the Quad City River Bandits. I love that name last night. If you look at the hits, just 1 hit for the Great Lakes Loons coming from Junior Garcia. You're seeing Orlando Ortiz Mayer. He went last night 5 innings scoreless, walked just 1, had 5 strikeouts, so a good performance for him. Reynaldo De Paula pitched as well. Christian Suarez came in. Franklin De La Paz and Carlos De Los Santos finished the night for Great Lakes. So again, hey, the Great Lakes Loons, they've been one of the best teams in the minor leagues as far as winning games lately. They're 15-10. They've won a lot of close games. They've been a lot of fun to watch. Yesterday was just one of those days. Again, lost 7-0, the high A Great Lakes Loons. The single A Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, they struggled to pitch last night. They gave up 12 runs and they lost 12-5 to the Lake Elsinore Storm. Last night, you were looking at Yohan Valdez, who actually had a good start. He went 3 innings. He gave up just 1 earned run. He had a strikeout on the night. And then Darlin Pinales, he came in. And then Ramirez came in. And LeVron Reynoso, he pitched as well. So, hey, the pitching last night was a little bit tough for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes offensively. Chris Newell, he had another hit. He went 1 for 3 last night. And he drew a couple of walks. So Chris Newell actually got on base 3 times last night. Nick Biddison had another hit. If you remember, Biddison had the inside the park home run on Thursday night. And then Dalton Dooney had 2 hits last night as well. So, and he had 2 RBIs too. So a good night for Dalton Dooney. He had a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs. And then Cameron Decker had a hit as well. But all in all, it was a 12-5 loss for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. So, hey, they'll play again tonight at Lake Elsinore. There will be a video feed of that. So I will have all the video from that game, at least the highlights of it. So, hey, look forward to that. So there you have it. There's our show for you today. Again, all the teams in the organization except for the AA Tulsa Drillers, who swept a doubleheader, got beat yesterday, so we'll hope for a better day on Saturday. And boy, I'll tell you what, the baseball has been great lately. Like I said many times, 3 organizational sweeps in the last about 2 weeks. And you could have had a fourth if Oklahoma City didn't have to play a doubleheader on a couple of different occasions. Could have had a fifth, actually, because they've done 2 doubleheaders there. So, hey, not the greatest day yesterday, but again, one of the great things I mentioned earlier about baseball is you get to wake up and do it all again the next day. So, hey, Saturday, hopefully it'll be a great day in the Dodgers organization. Okay, so that's our show for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you tune in tomorrow as well. Hey, just a reminder, if you'd like to help Dodgers Daily grow by donating, we do have a GoFundMe account, and we have the link in the description. Just click that link, and it'll take you right where you need to go to help Dodgers Daily by donating. Also, if you like this video and if you like this kind of content, click that like button, leave a comment, tell all your friends about Dodgers Daily, become a subscriber. After you subscribe, click that notification bell, turn on your notifications. That way, every time Dodgers Daily release a new video, you'll get notified. Dodgers Daily can keep growing, and we can keep doing what we love to do, which is providing videos like this in the future. As always, thanks for tuning in, and go Dodgers.